guys, my name's Adam if this is your first time here. Today we're going to be talking about Trading Places. This is a 1983 movie. This is for SourceFed Nerds Movie Club, and this movie stars Dan Aykroyd and, of course, Eddie Murphy. One of the things that, right off the bat, I gotta say is I was completely taken off guard by the racism in this movie. It was, you know, kind of offensive to see, but it's probably good that it was in there because it does, you know, it does portray the world in a way that acknowledges the fact that there are racist people out there. With that said, I think that if this movie was done today, we wouldn't see as much of that. They would have more subtle ways of getting around it while still sort of implying it enough for people to pick up on it. So, with that said, one of the things that I thought was really cool about this movie is that we've seen this movie before. We've all seen, you know, Chris Rock has done a bunch of movies like this, you know, where he runs for president of the United States and he says the roof is on fire and the rich people run out of the building because they actually believe that the roof is on fire. And Rob Schneider's done, you know, stuff like this where he's like a chick. And what I thought was cool about this was it doesn't insult your intelligence. It does it in a realistic way where the characters, it's not that silly fish out of water thing. They actually adapt to their environment and thrive in it in some cases, especially Eddie Murphy. So it was really cool to see this done in a way that's different than the way that it's been done before, although 1983, it probably wasn't done as much back then. So with that said, I think the real theme of this movie is that the whole product of your environment thing works both ways. We all know that poor people, they're accused of being a product of their environment, their upbringing, and they have to steal to get by. But rich people have an ugly side too, and once you're inserted into that, you can become just as bad. It's interesting that we see Eddie Murphy, he tries to share his wealth with his friends, and he basically sees them as freeloaders, and he kind of turns a little bitter, and he basically becomes the same rich guy that he used to hate when he was, you know, begging for change. And it's cool that that scene was in there. I really like that because it wasn't he just woke up one day as a rich guy and, you know, stuck his nose up at everybody now that he's got money. It actually showed a pretty reasonable, explanation as to how he got that way. Another thing that I thought this movie was about, other than, you know, the product of your environment thing, is pretty obviously that money's the root of all evil. The reason I say that is because not only, you know, obviously Eddie Murphy turns into a different person, but there's some really good people in this movie that do some really bad things because they're getting paid to do it. Specifically the butler, he's just doing his job, but it's pretty questionable that he would do something like that, but it's his job. He's, you know, it's his paycheck. With that said, I can't do this discussion without talking about the guy in the monkey suit. What was up with that guy? I mean, I guess he was just hammered because he walks in on the, what's his name? He walks in on the guy with a gun, and it's got a gun pointed at people, even at the guy in the monkey suit, and all he hears is, the party's over, and he's just like, the party's over. No, man, the party's got to keep going. Even though the guy's got a gun pointed at him, that doesn't matter. He's just got to keep the party going as much as possible. And then they steal all his clothes, and he wakes up and he walks back in, and he's just like, "Hey, everybody, look what happened to me!" And he's like half naked, and people are just like, "Yeah!" Just, I guess the guy was just really hammered and just didn't care too much about anything. With that said, I thought this was a pretty cool movie. Another thing I noticed was, for, you know, Treasure Island fans, if you read the book in school, there's a thing that's called an apple barrel adventure that was first taken place in Treasure Island. Eddie Murphy does a little apple barrel adventure of his own in this, in the washroom stalls when he overhears the two rich guys discussing their plot. I thought that was kind of cool to see that. But that's really all I have to say about this movie. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think about, you know, the things I had to say about this movie. Thanks for watching again, and have a good day.